I see something at the corner of the room. A lone filing cabinet. Wide open. Bunch of files there, and I decide to read some shit like company finances from like 2005 and shit. Nothing special except one drawer. Reports. Curiosity got the better of me. I checked the files and it's full of reports from over the years. You name it, it's there. Drugs. Sexual abuse. Verbal abuse. All sorts of shady underhanded shit that's gotten reported that you swear. And the dates all go up to the time when I worked 2018. 2019. See the reports I made for David, if any of you remember that story. This is essentially a dumping ground for all the shit that's been reported and locked up so it doesn't get leaked out to the public. This is some Illuminati tier shit. From then, I felt that sense of someone looking at me. I turn around and there he was. This chubby scruffy man. Had to be in his 40s. He starts yelling. What the fuck are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. Get out. For half a second I almost asked him the same, but I was too scared and began to bolt out of there. I can hear his chasing me and I decide to go full retard and jump through the hole where the ceiling piece I removed earlier was. I land right on my ass and I'm in some bad pain. I see the guy above me and he just stares. I bolt out of the building and run into my boss. Dude sees I'm shaken up and he asks if I'm okay. I tell him that I went up to check to see what the noise was and this big chubby dude was there. He stops me as soon as I say chubby dude and he walks in with 5 other TLS. Doesn't take more than a few minutes for him to come out dragging this dude from the collar. And I don't mean a normal drag out. I mean it looks like they gave him a good boot or two to the head before he came out. Sitting there watching this guy whimper on the ground whilst my boss tells his other TL friends to take him to the other room. My eyes at this point are just wide fucking open. Looks like I just saw a murder. Boss comes to me and asks if I'm okay. I tell him yet and ask who that guy is. He gives me an answer that comes off as 100% bullshit. Tells me it's some homeless guy who keeps getting into the building during the late hours. Every now and then they have to get the cops on him. Today they wanted to catch him themselves to make sure nothing happened. All the while my bullshit alarm is going off. Before I can even say anything my boss stops me. So Anon. Yeah? Any reason you smell like cigs even though you don't smoke? My blood ran cold. For that matter, why exactly do you have a few McDonald's wrappers on you if you don't eat that? Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Boss begins to tell me some shit about how the company likes to keep things to itself. How they don't like certain things getting out due to it being too much of a headache. Tells me that sometimes things don't go the way it's supposed to and that sometimes drastic measures are kind of needed. Looks me right in the eye and then asks, "You didn't see anything up there, right?" "No, sir." "You sure?" He then proceeds to tell me that I'm off for the rest of the week with paid time off. Just to let me relax a bit. Tells me to go home and we'll talk when I come back. Following week I come to Mr. Anon, come to my office please. Boss tells me that I'm going to be sent to a new position to full-time trainer. Tells me that I'm also going to be transferred to a different site in the city. There were technically 2 call centers sites, Indiana my town. says I'm going to get double pay, extra time off, basically all the perks of being a TL without all the hassle. All this sounds shocking as hell to me. Finally get the courage to ask why I'm getting this so suddenly. Oh, Mr. Anon, you're just a good worker and the higher-ups decided instead of making sure you don't say anything about last night we reward you for your bravery and quick thinking. I asked about the chubby guy I found. He simply said not to worry and that we won't see him ever again. I didn't stay at that job much longer. Security paid way more than the double pay I was already getting and it came without the added baggage of whatever the fuck they were doing at this place. To tie up a single loose end you may have been thinking about. The only reason I'm able to tell this story in the detail I have without worrying about ramifications is due to the fact that none of those who worked there when I did no longer work there. My boss died in a car accident in December. Many of the TLS either got fired or left entirely. And besides those four I was the only one left from that night who still knows anything from that night even happened. Don't know if those other TLS even remember that night either, so this adds another layer of shit to that. As for what happened to the chubby guy, the official story that went around the office was that I was some brave man who caught a homeless robber in the act and was able to apprehend him. When in reality I'm pretty sure if that guy wanted me dead I would have been dead 100%. I'm more than 100% that chubby guy ended up dead somewhere. Rumor in the office was that no footage from that night was ever found due to electronic malfunction. Everything just lined up like some giant conspiracy. But fearing more for my financial state than my actual life, I kept my mouth shut. Have heard rumors of some who tried speaking out on stuff getting sued and losing terribly. I don't know what really happened to that guy, nor do I care to really find out. All I know is that night I found there were many in life much scarier than ghosts or demons. No words can express the happiness you give me. As soon as we hang up I continue my trek and keep looking through the gunk and leftover papers wondering what the fuck I just stumbled into. I see something at the corner of the room. A lone filing cabinet. Wide open. Bunch of files there and I decide to read some. Shit like company finances from like 2005 and shit. Nothing special except one drawer. Reports. Curiosity got the better of me. I check the files and it's full of reports from over the years. You name it, it's there. Drugs, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, all sorts of shady underhanded shit that's gotten reported that you swear. And the dates all go up to the time when I worked 2018, 2019. See the reports I made for David, if any of you remember that story. This is essentially a dumping ground for all the shit that's been reported and locked up so it doesn't get leaked out to the public. This is some Illuminati tier shit. From then, I felt that sense of someone looking at me. I turn around and there he was. This chubby scruffy man. Had to be in his 40s. He starts yelling. What the fuck are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. Get out. For half a second I almost asked him the same, but I was too scared and began to bolt out of there. I can hear his chasing me and I decide to go full retard and jump through the hole where the ceiling piece I removed earlier was. This is a copy pasta of an old story on 4chan. I moved into my house 5 years ago. The last 2 years there have been strange things happening. It started in October 2004. I noticed strange footsteps but soon shrugged them off, thinking there was probably an explanations for them. My 16-year-old son, Michael, slept in the only bedroom that was downstairs, while myself and his little sis have our own bedrooms upstairs. I would wake up in the morn with Michael sleeping on my bedroom floor. He at first heard strange noises, then he seen shadows moving across the room. He came running from his room one day because his plug flew from the wall. Yet again I put it down to electrical faults. He's felt something brushing him too. I have been with my partner Mike for a year now, and he moved in with me in April. At first Mike couldn't sleep with the noise of someone moving up and down stairs. All watts checking but nothing there. He would always say, "Did you hear that?" I was just used to hearing them. 4 months ago, Mike was sitting at the computer which is beside Michael's bedroom door, and he jumped up with pain. He lifted his shirt and there was deep scratch on his stomach. There was no sharp instruments about, and there was no possible. Computer always acts up for him but no one else in the family. I am also catching the shadows out of the corner of my eye and put it down to my imagination. We were lying in our bed 2 weeks ago watching telly. I lie nearest the doorway and I seen a flowing shadow going into my daughter's bedroom. Mike jumped up and shouted he saw it too. For once I was completely freaked out. I had to sleep on other side of bed. Everything was forgotten, and then 2 days ago Mike was sitting on the computer chair again holding a piece of drawing paper in his lap. The paper hit him in the eye and took out a chunk from his cornea. He is in complete agony and has been attending hospital. He cannot explain how the paper hit his eye from the angle he was holding it on his lap, but knows even if he tried to do it himself it would be impossible. At first I thought it was just a mischievous ghost of some kind, but now I am starting to get very worried with this thing assaulting my partner. It is no longer mischievous but evil. I wonder if it is the shadow that has always been with me that I have always seen from the corner of my eye since, or is it something that was already in the house? 2 weeks ago my son come in screaming from the bathroom saying he'd seen a face all bloody, and wrapped in a dirty sheet. We got into the car but it would not start. And then a man door hook hand car door in the hook door car. In 1994 I was 7 years old. I had no fear. I used to walk in the woods alone or with friends. One day, during the day I was in the woods and I was mad. During the time there was the Satanism crazy happening and it was all over TV. I started to scream, "Devil! Satan! Come talk to me! I want to sell my soul." A few seconds later something showed in front of me. I cannot recall how it looked like because it was too long ago. The thing asked me what I wanted and said that I was a very interesting child.